Age 2 Gaming here. We're going to play against the odds Battle for the Golden Heights. This is a Ziploc game from Lock and Load Publishing. I've got manual version 3.0 here. This is a 2020 release game, and it has to do with the Israeli-Arab war. It's the Syrian attack on the Golden Heights from October the 6th to the 9th, 1973. And this is the opening stages of the Yom Kippur War. So Israeli forces were extensively outnumbered, but in the end they held their ground. So they blunted the Syrian thrust. Okay, and the first scenario is what I've set up here. And flip over here to get to it. It's called the Sacrificial Stand. And so this is the first day, October the 6th. And see the victory conditions right here. Syrian player must exit 9 armor units off the west edge of the map. At least 5 of these units must be T-55s or T-65 tanks. Okay. Capturing the fort at Tel Hermot, which is that hex right there, which is 2101, where those 2 infantry units are at. That's equivalent to exiting 3 armor units. And so we've got 10 turns. Each turn is about 30 minutes to an hour. These are platoon size units. The map is very well done, showing the desert there. Okay, we've got roads. Here's the roads here. We've got lava beds right there, and there's some up there. We've got hills. There's an example of some hills. This is all open. Firing ramps. That's what most of these tanks are. Israeli tanks are on. These firing ramps, which benefits them greatly. You got crests. So that's a crest there. Okay. We got anti-tank ditch, which is right there. And then we got the fort, which is over here where these units are at. And here's the Syrian forces lined up along the edge. A maximum number of units in a hex are 2. Air units don't count toward that, neither do leaders. So we got some leaders there. Okay, and I'll talk more about the counters in the, I guess we could go ahead and do that now. So you know what the counters all about. Should have that right here. Let's see, let me find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so there's the unit types. That's the unit color. That tells whether it's Syrian. The Syrians are the tan or with the green and the brownish color or tan. Also have red if it's on the back. Red's a reduced unit. We got the unit name. Close assault number is the 3 there at the top right. Then we have the AP, firepower, armor piercing, which is the red number at the top left. And then you have the range, which is right there beside it, 16 and 16 for the AP. HE, firepower, that's against soft targets, infantry targets, is yellow. And then the range beside it, so we've got a 6 and a 4. And then the armor rating there is on the right, on the bottom. Infantry won't have that, so with the infantry counter, there's just not the unit number there. They've moved the HE, firepower, and range over into the middle. So that's what we have. All right. So next video, we'll start with turn 1. The Syrians go first. And in this game, the Syrians are not allowed to have opportunity fire. That's while the opponent's moving. And the reason for that, the rules point that out. That let's see, the opportunity fire. It's because of the Syrians were not very well led, or I guess coordination was not very well done with the army. Okay, so that's why they can't opportunity fire. The Israelis can opportunity fire, which means when the opponent moves into a hex which within their range, and they leave that hex, then they can fire on them. Okay, so that's quite a ways out, as long as they have a line of sight. So we also have mortar units. There's a mortar unit. We've got off-board artillery units. If the scenario provides that, like I said, you got helicopters, you've got aviation units, and so forth. There's a lot going on, but this is a tank battle. Okay, very few infantry units for either side. Most of the units in the game are going to be tank units. Okay, the Israelis have the Solitaire tank. That's their tank. They also have some M5s. I'm sorry, M51s, not M5s. And the Syrians have some T-62s. These are Russian tanks. So they've been supplied by the Russians, and they've got some other vehicles. But that's what we have. So as we go along, maybe we'll talk about some of that. But the Syrians are the ones that are the aggressors. They've got to try to push across and get through the Israeli defenses there, and get over here on the west side of the map and cross the map edge here and escape. So we've got the turn track there on the map, and so the Syrians will be going first, and we'll have reinforcements coming in. Syrian reinforcement coming in here on this edge, and the Israelis over here on this edge. So we'll get started and see how it goes. Let's talk about the sequence of play. We've got a rally phase for units that are disrupted. And then we got the reinforcement phase, okay, for the Israelis and the Syrians. And we got the Syrian movement phase, okay. And then we have the, and that's where the opportunity fire for the Israelis can happen. And then we have the Israeli movement phase. And then we have the Israeli combat phase. They get to do their combats first, okay, which is going to be their fire combat and well, it's just going to be their fire combat and air combat, okay, fire combat. And then the Syrians do their ranged combat. And then we have the close combat, okay, and then we have the cleanup phase, okay. So that's the way it goes. It's Syrians move, opportunity fire by the Israelis move, and then the Israelis get to fire first, and then the Syrians fire, and then we have the close combat. So this is the setup. You're allowed to set up however you want. You can have 2 units per hex, and so I put the Israelis tanks 2 to a hex and put them in the fire ramps. And so you know, the rules kind of aren't too clear about whether or not you can, enter units, behind each other. It just said they got to be lined up along the east map edge. So they didn't provide that, okay, they can, you don't have to have them all come in, they can come in different hexes or so forth. I've got them kind of spread out. I really would probably want to put more of them up here behind and try to punch through with with a whole bunch more units, and I might move that before we get started. So all right, next video is going to be the start.